Good day, my name is Scott Kinney with Discovery Education, and this is our One Idea series. Today I'm joined by Dr. Pamela Rollins. Dr. Rollins is the Associate Professor and Faculty Member in the Communications Disorders Program within the School of Behavior and Brain Science at the University of Texas, Dallas, the Callier Center for Communication Disorders. So that's a mouthful. Dr. Rollins has degrees from Boston University, from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and Harvard University, but very practically and very relevant, has spent 30 years in research, teaching, and clinical practice serving children with autism spectrum disorder. And in fact, spends some of her time doing curriculum writing for a company called Robocon that uses robots to deliver therapy to students with autism. So let's start there. I'd love to hear more about Robocon and what kind of work you're doing with them.
Great. Well, I've been into social skills my whole life. Social skills for children with autism. That's what autistic children don't do well, is social skills. And so my life's been dedicated to that. And about 4 years ago, Fred Margolin, who's the president of Robocon, came to me and said, will you write a social skills curriculum for our robot? And it's a humanoid robot with a beautiful little face that really looks like a human face with lots of different muscles. And kids on the spectrum do better with machines and with computers and technology. But what I really loved about this robot was that it was interactive, that technology is really great for teaching a lot of things, but I believe that in social skills, you have to be interactive. They can learn a lot. They learn so much, and they can get it, but they can't use it in real time. And so social skills is something you have to use in real time. And when they have this robot in front of them, they become interactive in a way that they don't with their communication devices or with their iPads, where they might be seeing scenes of social skills. They might be learning the scripts, but they're not really interacting. So this was a really, really amazing opportunity for me to be able to write the social skills curriculum for the robot.
That is fascinating. I have so many questions, but let me start with who is using this technology. So where could we see this in use if we were to visit?
In schools. So right now, I know I'm doing research at a school here in Texas, Oak Hill School, and they use it. And there's different schools. There's school systems throughout the country. A lot in Texas, some in California. We have a few in, I think, the Pennsylvania area, Connecticut. So there's actually there's many of them in Connecticut. So they're all over right now. So it's a fairly new technology, and it's just coming out. We do use evidence-based practices in the social skills curriculum. So we use video modeling, we use social stories, social narratives. So the robot tells social narratives about the skill, interacts with the child around that. They should then look at video. So we have video models for each skill, and we also do emotions. And then there's testing on a tablet. So the robot has two tablets. One is the facilitator tablet. The other is the child tablet. So the facilitator tells the robot, for example, if the child doesn't respond. So the robot knows to respond back. And the child will communicate with the robot through their tablet. And we have icons on the tablet so that we've been able to get children who are very low level and low language level to be able to use the robot.
That's fascinating. So do you also, I know that there's a social skills curriculum which you're a part of writing. Is there also curriculum content or course content like math that would also be provided through that in the context of learning social skills? Or is it strictly focused on those social skills?
Right now, it's strictly focused on social skills. And part of that is that's where my expertise is. And the other part of that is that's a core deficit of children with autism. So they get through school. Sometimes it's hard, but there is, they get the academics. The math is an easier skill for them, but they have persistent difficulties with social skills and throughout their entire life. And so that's really where we come in and try to do something.
That's fascinating. Now, you mentioned you're doing research. What are the things that you'll look for in that research as your metrics of success?
So in my research around the robot in particular, because I'm doing efficacy studies with the robot as well as some other research that I do. And what I'm looking for really is that they can use it with real people, right? So the robot's a bridge. And I always feel, I don't care what anyone does in my room with me if they can't use it. And the nice thing about the robot is that a paraprofessional can facilitate it. And then the teachers and the speech pathologists and other people can go into the classroom and do generalization. So we've written a manual that helps teachers take the lessons into their classroom because it's important that they use it with real people. And so what I'm looking for in my research is that they're able to do the skill with real people in the classroom. So that's really what it's about, is getting them to learn it and to interact and to do it.
That's great. And if I'm a building principal, let's say, and I'm interested in this, how would I get started? What would the process to bring a robot into my school system look like?
You would call Robokind, and I should have that telephone number. I didn't know I was going to talk all about Robokind today. And they would send somebody out to you right away. So there is a sales force that they have. They are a company. I'm at the university, so it's a collaboration between myself and this company. And you can go to their website. There's robokind.com. I think it's Robokind, right? And so you can go to their website, and there's some place on there that says, contact us, and somebody would call right away.
Great. And you mentioned earlier kind of the importance of technology with students with autism versus maybe students without. Talk a little bit about why you feel technology is such an important part of that educational process.
Well, children with autism often have low motivation, and they often, this is general, like on average, right? Most kids like technology. They like computers. Part of it is very predictable, and people aren't predictable, and it acts the same way. And kids on the spectrum, many children on the spectrum like to develop systems, right? How does it go together? So they're both analyzing the system of the technology at the same time as they're learning. And so they like the predictability, and it's something they can do. And so it's motivating. And I think like apps and those types of things are great for literacy. They're great for math. So there's a lot of technology out there that's great for the academic kinds of things. Personally, and this is my personal bias, and there are people out there who will not agree with me, I don't think apps are good for social skills because they get absorbed into it and they may learn the script, but they can't necessarily retrieve it upon interacting with another human being. And really, social skills is about interacting with another human being.
Right, and so why your research is kind of focused on that bridge from either the technology or the robot to the human.
And I've actually seen some kids that haven't gotten all the correct answers with the robot, but because of the social scripts that he delivers, they learn it and then they go use it. And so that's been really interesting to me too.
That's great. This is our One Idea series. Dr. Pamela Rollins with the University of Texas at Dallas. Pam, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.